Antibiotics resistance has posed a great challenge in the health sector. Use of antibiotics has led to more problems than it has solved. Development of antibiotics led to treatment of bacterial infections that were not curable before. However, since then people have abused antibiotics, leading to development resistant strains. Antibiotics, also known as antimicrobial drugs, refer to medications used to treat and sometimes prevention of bacterial infections such as pneumonia, rheumatic fever, and gonorrhea. A wide variety of antibiotics has been developed, namely penicillin, cephalosporin, aminoglycosides, and macrolides. Penicillin was the first antibiotic to be discovered in 1928 by Alexander Fleming, a bacteriology professor. Fleming cultured Staphylococcus in a petri dish. In one dish, he noted that there was a patch where the growth of bacteria was inhibited by Penicillium notatum. In 1939, Florey, Ernst and their colleagues moved the use of penicillin from laboratory into life-saving drug. In 1940, Florey carried out an experiment that proved that penicillin was effective in protecting mice against Staphylococcus infection. In 1941, the first dose of antibiotics was injected to Alexander, who was suffering from bacterial infection, and a remarkable change was observed with a period of 6 days. Discovery of penicillin led to cure of various bacterial infections and discovery of a new antibiotics. Following administration of antibiotics, it enters into a circulation and travel in the body killing bacteria, but no human cells. Antibiotics works by targeting things that are present in bacterial cells but absent in human cells. For example, bacteria have a cell wall while human cells do not have a cell wall. Penicillin acts by inhibiting the formation of cell wall in bacteria, which makes them susceptible to osmotic pressure, leading to their death through bursting. Macrolides act by inhibiting building of protein from ribosome. Since the discovery of antibiotics, man has been using them as a magic bullet. Antibiotics have been overused, and this has reduced their effectiveness. Antibiotics are found in food, homes, and the environment. Harmful bacteria have developed resistance against antibiotics. Superbugs refer to a new strains of bacteria that are resistant to multiple antibiotics. They have developed as a result of abuse of antibiotics. Continuous exposure of bacteria to antibiotics has made them mutate to become immutate to antibiotics. Bacteria have evolved and adapted over time. Overuse and inappropriate use of antibiotics increase the chance of emergence of superbugs of the targeted strains of bacteria. The weak strains of bacteria which are susceptible to antibiotics die while a new generation which are resistant to the antibiotic are created. If something is not done to overcome development of superbugs, in the future curing bacterial infection will be hard. Methicillin was developed to cure bacterial infections caused by bacteria that were resistant to penicillin. 50 years later, a superbug from methicillin developed. Currently, a new strains of disease that used to be cured by traditional antibiotics are emerging due to development of superbugs. New strains of bacteria that cause tuberculosis are emerging. The graph above shows the development of resistant strains. It is clear that the overuse of antibiotics has led to evolution of bacteria. Resistant strains are more than the susceptible bacteria. The table above shows the type of antibiotics and how frequently they are purchased. In this study, it was found that the amoxicillin was the most abused antibiotic. Notably, 25.54% of the patients took antibiotics without any sign of illness. It was also found that the antibiotic did not work for 19% of patients. Microbiomes refer to beneficial microbes that live in and on the human body. Microbiomes are found in abundance on human parts of the body that is exposed to the environment. They are also found in the body where the largest number are found in the gut. They are important in various life processes. They take part in physiological processes in the body and interact with human cells, including the immune system, to prevent the body against attacked by foreign objects. They are important in the prevention of disease and in the well-being health of human beings. Microbes constitute approximately 19% of human cells. Helicobacter pylori are one of the microbes that are found in the stomach. These bacteria protect the host against number of diseases. They stimulate release of abundant macrophages and lymphocytes in the stomach that act as a normal immune response that prevent the stomach against pathogens, attack and create an environment for friendly microbes. Helicobacter pylori protects the body against disease such as asthma by increasing the number of T cells whose role is to fight disease-causing microorganisms. Overuse of antibiotics has a negative effect on microbiomes. Antibiotics kill both the harmful and beneficial bacteria in the body. Overuse of antibiotics disrupt the microbiomes, diminishing their function in the human body. It causes reduction in the number of microbiomes. It leads to gene transfer among the bacteria and reduction of the immune response stimulated by microbiomes to prevent the human being against diseases. The extent to which the long use of antibiotics affects human microbiomes depend on the antibiotic misuse, its mode of action and degree of its resistance. Overuse of antibiotics results into ecological imbalance of microbiota. In the gut, this can lead to intestinal problems such as diarrhea. Another impact of overusing antibiotics on microbiomes is increase in antibiotic resistance and spread of antibiotics resistance gene in pathogenic bacteria. Moreover, it affects the biodiversity of human microbiomes. Harmful bacteria develop resistance by several means. They can modify structures that are targeted by antibiotics through mutation such as changing the structure of their cell wall to make it less permeable to antibiotics. Bacteria also become resistant by activating a pump that pumps out antibiotic immediately it enters the bacteria cell. Another means by which bacteria become resistant is by secretion of a specific detoxifying enzyme that re-enter the antibiotic less effective by discarding them. Resistance can also develop when the number of bacteria are large. Presence of a large number of bacteria results into production of signalizing molecules that are detectable by other bacteria, leading to activation of genetic hosts that form a biofilm. This mechanism has been found to develop antibiotic resistance. In my opinion, whether antibiotics are friendly or foul depends on how they are used. If antibiotics used as prescribed, they are very friendly and effective in the prevention of bacterial infection. However, there is a tendency for antibiotic abuse that has posed a very great threat to the public health. Overuse and inappropriate use of antibiotics have led to the emergence of multi-drug resistance bacteria. In future, curing a bacterial infection will be a big challenge because the development of new antibiotics is not keeping up with the emergence of antibiotics resistant strains. Whether antibiotics are friends or foe, it's not an easy question to answer because it depends on the practice of people in the use of antibiotics.
Hi everyone, so I'm just going to interview with Dr. Krupesh Patel today, and he's just a researcher in antibiotics and he has some past experience. So we're just going to know his thoughts and experience about antibiotics. Hi Dr. Krupesh Patel. Hi, I'm Shivani. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions today regarding antibiotics so you can share your experience with us. So why are new resistance bacteria evolving day by day?
Well, from my past experience in the field and research, I think bacteria is trying to fight back, and it abuses day by day. It abuses of antibiotic has enabled bacteria to mutate to evade the lethal effects of on antibiotic. So that's why I think we should be careful every time which antibiotic is been prescribed to us, or before taking any antibiotic, we should be careful, make sure what the effects are, and then take it.
Yes,
so right.
Yes. So how can people overcome the challenge of antibiotics day by day?
Well, this can be achieved. By challenging of antibiotic resistance, ensuring the antibiotics is not prescribed where there are no symptoms, preventing antibiotic may resist by carrying out of researches to develop new antibiotic that targets resistant strains.
Okay.
Development of antibiotics led to curing of life-threatening bacterial infections. However, overuse of antibiotics is reducing the effectiveness of antibiotics day by day. It has led to the development of superbugs that are microorganisms that are resistant to multiple antibiotics. Overuse of antibiotics has also greatly affected human microbiomes, reducing their abilities to protect the body against diseases. Bacteria have evolved and adapted to avoid the lethal effect of antibiotics. They have developed resistance to mutation, secretion of detoxifying enzyme, and use of efflux pumps to pump out antibiotics before they exert their lethal effect. Use of antibiotic has caused more problems than it has solved by making individuals susceptible to a variety of diseases due to development of superbugs.